Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Soulful Elevation Hub, and I'm so glad you've chosen to spend some time with me today. We're going to dive deep into a powerful and inspiring passage from the book of Genesis, chapter 7, verses 1 through 24. In this chapter, we'll explore the story of Noah and the Great Flood, a tale of obedience, faith, and God's promise. So grab a Bible, get comfortable, and let's get into it. So, let's begin with verse 1 of Genesis 7.
Then the Lord said to Noah, "Go into the ark, you and your whole family, because I have found you righteous in this generation."
Isn't that amazing? God had noticed Noah's faithfulness. He was righteous in a world filled with corruption and sin, and because of that, God chose him to save humanity and animal life. I want us to pause and reflect on the significance of being seen by God. Noah's obedience wasn't just about following instructions, it was about faithfulness, consistency, and trust in God's plan, even when it didn't make sense to others around him. As we move through the next few verses, God gives Noah very specific instructions on how to prepare. He tells him to take 7 pairs of every kind of clean animal and 1 pair of unclean animals. Why is that important? It shows us that God isn't random. There's purpose, order, and thoughtfulness in every command he gives. Even when we don't understand fully, we can trust that his plans are detailed and designed for our ultimate good. Then we hit verses 11 to 12.
In the 600th year of Noah's life, on the 17th day of the 2nd month, on that day all the springs of the great deep burst forth, and the floodgates of the heavens were opened, and rain fell on the earth 40 days and 40 nights.
This wasn't just a light sprinkle of rain. This was a monumental event. The flood represented a new beginning for humanity, a reset, but also judgment for those who didn't follow God. This part of the story can be a reminder for us to evaluate our lives. Are we following God's instructions, even when they seem difficult or unpopular? The rain came after Noah and his family were safely in the ark. That's God's protection. He's always got a plan for those who walk in obedience with him. For 40 days and 40 nights, the rain poured, and all life outside the ark perished. But inside, Noah's family and the animals were safe. This tells us so much about God's faithfulness. Even when the world around us is chaotic, when floods of doubt, fear, or trouble seem overwhelming, God's protection is available to those who trust in him. Verse 24 tells us that the waters flooded the earth for 150 days. That's 5 whole months. Imagine being in an ark for that long. No sight of land, no knowledge of what the future holds, just trust. If you're in a season where it feels like the flood is never ending, remember that Noah waited patiently. God is faithful, and his timing is always perfect, even if we can't see it at the moment. So, what can we learn from Genesis 7?
First, obedience is key. Noah didn't argue or delay. He followed God's instructions to the letter.
Second, God provides protection in the midst of chaos. The ark was a literal vessel of safety, but in our lives, it might be his peace, his guidance, or his promises. And finally, God's timing is always perfect. Noah waited months before the waters receded, but God was in control the entire time.
Wow, there's so much to take from this chapter. The story of Noah's Ark isn't just a children's story. It's a reminder that God is always watching over us. Even in the midst of the storm, he is faithful, and his promises never fail.
If you found this message encouraging today, please take a moment to give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. I'd love to hear your thoughts on Noah's story in the comments. How has God shown his faithfulness in your life? And make sure to hit that notification bell so you don't miss any future content.
Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, keep walking in faith.